Lord of Fenom, what's good, what's good? Tune in, let's try this one more time. For all the new people here, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me put that on there, 1 second. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Subscribe to my YouTube, that's my full name. And let's get this one here right. So, before I was interrupted by that picture that y'all saw, I had to redo this live stream. Y'all don't want those activities on there. So yeah, we did get the triples in California. We did get the quad in Illinois, and that was flawlessly like no other. So let me know what your state have. Whether it's, what's today's date? The 27th? 27th, that means you may get lucky this evening with a triple, but the best date for a triple may just be tomorrow. After tomorrow, you may get the triple on the 1st. So, here's the good thing about the quad. Here's the good thing about the triple. Both of them fell flawlessly with the ratio. The only thing I would say about that quad, it's going to slow a lot of triples down that you could have been getting elsewhere. So, again, when one place does one thing, the other place does another. So if that one's getting quads, that means it's about to slow down. I don't know what the payout was. If anybody know the payout, do let me know. North Carolina trip 9, that would be great. I don't know if they did trip, but do let me know. Zeros, yes. But the quad zeros did fall. Trip zeros is in line, just like the quad zeros is. So do be on the lookout for that. Usually on even number dates. Odd number dates, be looking for that 7 or an odd number to take flight. For the most part, make sure y'all hit that share button. Make sure y'all follow my YouTube page. It's my full name. Let me go ahead and keep that, pin that comment. There we go. I was going to end up showing y'all the printout on the TV of the numbers, but as we see, that'll end up messing up very quick, so I'm not going to try that option no more. Strictly from the laptop from now on, instead of doing it off the TV. But it's all good, it's all good. What's good out there? 283, okay, for South Carolina, 648. Okay, perfect. You actually should be getting that odd tomorrow. It should be going odd tomorrow, if not late tonight in GA, to get you ready for the odd tomorrow. Probably the number 5 or the number 7 should take flight easily. Again, it's been a long day. Well, my day getting started. I'm so used to saying it's been a long day. Again, I got to go print out some books. I got to go to the post office, and that's about it. So, trip 5s. How did trip 5s arrive in California again? Well, furthermore, they did not get any. I don't think they got too many base numbers. The base numbers usually stop the wave. Again, besides California, New York, the only one that'll get multiple trips in 1 month, 1 calendar month. Usually, it's tied into the ratio like everything else. I wouldn't be operating, I wouldn't be in my algorithm if it wasn't for the ratio. So for it to do what it does, you may want to understand the ratio very clearly, because a lot of people say, well, if this tic-tac-toe should bring it, or the last 2-3 drawings should bring it. No, it's usually just connected to the ratio. It has really no other algorithm that you need to be worried about. Yeah, the tic-tac-toe is great, but it's not needed. It's just really not needed. All you really do need is the ratio, and to find out what's overdue, what system. Learn the series, learn the base number, learn the what is it? Series, base number, run mate double, and run mates. Just primarily learn the run mates, and then you'll know exactly how to use it. Again, it's not hard to understand what systems is overdue. Usually 7 or 5 stop the wave, so if you get a series, a 7 or 5 will stop that wave from doing another series. If you get a base number, a 7 or 5 will stop the wave from doing another base number. So when I say stop the wave, that means if it doesn't stop, it's going to continue on this wave. That means series bringing series, base number bringing base number, doubles bringing doubles, all even bringing all even. So anytime it's time to switch over, it's going to use a 7 or 5. For instance, I tell you in the book, number one has a lot to do with every number, because at the minimum, it takes a number 1 to change it to another number. So, for example, for it to go from a number 4 to a number 5, it needed a number 1. For it to go from a number 4 to a number 7, it needed a number 1 3 times. So, again, all I'm doing is breaking it down further and further and further. I know it's easy to say 4 plus 3 is 7, or it's easy to say 4 flips to 7. But if you're looking at it from a scientific standpoint or from this type of algorithm, I say it took 3 ones to bring out a 7 from a number 4. So you got to be able to see it in different light. And once you understand that, then you understand the dynamics of what's going along in lottery. So, for instance, people take the plus sign very, very minimum. If it wasn't for the plus sign, that means the regular 1 plus something equals something. If it wasn't for that plus sign, this algorithm probably wouldn't exist. Because, for one, if you never noticed, it's a minus sign that's included in the plus sign. So it's like minus and plus built together. Now, the reason I say that is in my book, you'll see, as one of my private members pointed out today, where it says 1 plus blank equal this. And if you do it again and again to every single number, you come up with the same type of run mate style. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known the run mates. So I had to go 1 plus that number equals that number. Then I had to go 1 minus that number equals that number on the other side. That makes both numbers a run mate. So for example, if 1 plus blank gave me the number 8, then I had to say, well, if 1 minus blank gives me the run mate to the number 8, which is a 0. So it's just that type of formula. So again, the plus and the minus plays a big part in what's going on with run mates, but what's going on with a lot of algorithms. So in the DVD, I have a number line. The number line goes from 0 through 9, but the numbers also goes negative. So from the positive is 0 through 9. Go back negative, it's negative, it starts at 0, negative 9, negative 8, negative 7, negative 6. Now you see where that comes from because of that plus sign. You can add and you can subtract at the same exact time. So a lot of people don't understand that, and I see it as a difference. I don't see it as just a plus. It's a negative and a positive at the same exact time, and that's what I mean by that. If you think about it, the whole world operates off of a negative and a positive. So same thing for numbers. So if we're introducing another algorithm or a new language to our subconscious or our consciousness, understand it's a positive and a negative. So apply both, and you have a concrete system to use. So again, it may sound as if it's so way up there, so next level, but once you start to look at it differently and simplify it, then you'll know it's just really simple. And that's the whole point of what I did. I took a large algorithm and simplified it in a book. And from that algorithm, you go forth and keep winning your money from that specific algorithm. That's why everybody salute me and thank me for doing the hard work. So you may say, well, it's really simple. I'm just keeping up with the ratio. Or, well, I just keep up with the trip triggers. But to learn how trip triggers operated, it took all these algorithms. I just made the shortcut for it. And that's why you're not coming in at $20. That's why you're not coming in at $80. Because I took that algorithm and simplified it for you already. Now, I could have left it just at a cheat sheet and says, these are your run mates. Now, give me the $50, go about your life. I went further than just the cheat sheet, because if you know me when I started out with the cheat sheet in the DVD. And that's all you could consume. It leveled up to book number 1, and then it leveled up to book number 2. And all that did was say, hey, I'm finna simplify it again, book number 1. I'm finna simplify it again, book number 2, and it just made it super simple. That's why I say it's not me that you need to think you're doing me a favor. I actually want to feel like I'm blessing you if I give you this algorithm and the shortcuts to what we're doing. And that's all it is. Again, I made everybody just as powerful as me. I'm looking at them, they doing it like it ain't no tomorrow. And I can't be more proud of them. Ain't nothing else they can do. There's no more quads, there's no more trips that they can do to surprise me. I'm at the height of my proudness of my group. A lot of people coming in, you're going to have to come in, you're going to have to get situated, you're going to have to, get a feel for it. So be ready when you do come in. Let me answer these questions. 302 is perfect. 302 is perfect for the pick 3 for many, many, many reasons. I truly commend you for all you're doing. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you. You're long time supporter. Ohio got the 248. But it's something coming off of the 4-draw cluster. You got to remember that if the 26 was yesterday, that's still the 4-draw cluster. So you're still operating off even numbers. Now, here comes from the 27. That's why I say today's the 27th. So here's why I say the all odd can jump in tomorrow on your 28th, because it's a 4-draw cluster starting on the 27th. That is today. So again, a lot of people say, hey, come on, somebody give me one number. Give me one number so I can go put $20 on it. That's exactly how it does not work. You don't want just one number, because one number is in turn 3 different numbers. Upwards of 4 different numbers just for this one number. It can be interpreted by mirror numbers. It can be interpreted by flip numbers, and it can be interpreted by run mates. So that's minimum 4 different numbers for that one number. So again, if I can just give you one number, no, they can't. They should not, because it operates differently. So again, once you know the algorithm, you already know, hey, I can't just play this one number. I got to play the languages of this one number. Just like it ain't but so many all odd waves, it ain't so many all even waves. All you can do is just reinterpret those in other languages. That's the best format. It's really nothing difficult about it, I swear to God. Michigan is doing great. Michigan is really doing great. Yeah, the minus and plus. It is it's an algorithm. It's really algorithm. People who invented it, I think they knew exactly what they was doing when they turned the minus into a plus, or when they turned the plus into the minus. It's no coincidence why it does not look too different than how it already originated. I don't know if the plus came first. I don't know if the minus came first, but I know that they incorporated it for a specific reason now, and it does make exact sense. So if there's a neutron and a proton, if there's a positive and a negative, what best way to represent it with just one symbol, and that's a plus sign. It has a lot to do with everything. It's the reason why the plus sign looks just like a cross. It looks just like a cross, damn near. So it's a lot to do with the world. It's a lot to do with our existence. Again, let me know what your state has so we can go over what your state get for midday, so we know what the evening number is going to look like. Trip 5s in California primarily. If y'all look at the 4-draw cluster, you have 105 if I'm not mistaken. I forgot that second number, but you have 105. And 105 played a lot to do with trip 5s. I think 900. Y'all got 900 right after that, or 990. Typical 100 number. 9 and 5 does stay together. I think it was 900 or 009 if I'm not mistaken. So again, the 9 and 5 stay together. They best of buds. Roommates. Connecticut did do 559. Perfect. That's not bad at all. Anytime you have the 27th, look out for that 7 or look out for that 9. So what runs with 9? The 5. What runs with 7? The roommate to 7. Florida 280. Oh, they did. Okay, they did fine. Florida did fine. 772 Ohio, and then 248. Okay. Great. 648. Okay. That 4 is in the middle. So that 0 needs to take flight a little. Okay, Kentucky hit 240. Y'all need to see more zeros. Look at what Tennessee did this morning. Look at what Texas did this morning. Let me know what Tennessee and what Texas got, because that surely can help lead the way for this evening. So if you're getting ready to work this evening number, look at Tennessee, look at what Texas has. That lets you know what type of mind frame that they're trying to drop, what other languages that they're trying to drop. North Carolina 193. Okay, the 9 is not bad at all. That 9 is not bad, not at all. 283. Okay, yes. Usually when you get 283, you get a number 1. Watch that number 1. Anytime the doubles hit like that, you usually get a 5 or a 7 to represent it. The 0, 1 is so rare. It usually comes after that number 9. It usually comes after the number 9, or it usually comes after a 100 number. After a 103, 105. Excuse me. Let me get that correct, because we're looking for 0, 1. It comes after a 9, and then it usually comes after the 7 and 7 and 8 makes sense, but 7 and 4 makes more sense. 7 and 4 makes more sense to bring out a 0, 1. So after a 9 or after a 7, 4. So if you put all three numbers together, that's 749. 749 is notorious for bringing out the number 1. So 0 is just a blank number. That means it's not there. That means the number 1 needs to fall with its run mate. So after 749, you can at least see a number 1 in its run mate. Number 1 run mate double, number 1 series, number 1 base number. But after a 7, because the 7 is the quirky number that can bring out any one of those systems. Understand that much. That's why the 7 is most seen. That's why the 5 is most seen. Tennessee 203. Perfect. Not bad at all. Let me know what Texas get. Y'all have a moment. Let me know what Texas got also. Texas 670. Or Tennessee 670. 328, 670, 302, 645. Okay, perfect. So that means that 0 is taking flight. You're going to see the 0 a lot more. So that means if you did not get your 0 this morning, you're probably going to get your 0 this evening. Again, anytime you get 0, you need to watch the number 9. Anytime you get 0, watch the number 1. For instance, the reason I'm saying that is not because of a series, because 091 is a series. It's primarily because, like, for instance, somebody got 648. I think that was GA. If you think about it, if you're waiting for a 0 this evening, and I say watch the number 1 to go with it, or watch the number 9 to go with it, either or, not all three, because the 901 is usually only necessary when it's time for a triple. So if your state recently already had triples, let's say 20 draws ago, you don't need the series 091. Now, if you had trip 9s, then you would need the series 091 to show up within 20 so draws. So usually I say watch the 0, watch the 1, watch the 0, or watch the 9, because it's just the 1 digit apart. You need it going back to being 1 digit apart versus going 2 digits apart. 648, that's a 2 digit apart number. So that's why I say easily watch the 01, easily watch the 09, and that's half the battle. Now, all you're doing is matching it up with systems. Of course, you're going to want to run this series because it's so close to the series. But for the most part, that's going to be a high payout. So you need to watch everything else but a series. So the only thing that can give you 09 couldn't be a base number. So base number is out of there. 01, base number is out of there. So it would have to be a flip number. 014, 017, and then 094, 092, 096, those numbers. So again, that's how you get that 1 digit apart and then get that third wheel. What else is there? You can always do mirror number 016 because of the 16 is the mirror. And then you already got 015. That way 0 and 5 is the mirror. What else is there? That's about it. So for those that's working on their zero this evening, play that one digit apart number that go with it, and then play that third string and drop it in the system. Usually, when you get that 0, you love to get the number 8. What's the mirror to number 8? Number 3. So you already got 0, 8, and then you got 3. That would literally be, that wouldn't be one digit apart, but that'll be okay for a backup number. That'll be okay for a backup number. I think South Carolina, North Carolina is going to get busy, very busy, the beginning of the month. Right now, we're hitting that back stretch. Yeah, you still got the 30th that can warrant a triple, and you got the 31st that can warrant a triple because of the first. Not necessarily because of the 31st, it's more than likely because of the first. So what I'm saying about that, about the 31st, is the last draw that day of can jump in there before the next draw for the midday on the 1st. So that's the only reason why I say the 31st. But primarily you can get one on the 30th because it's a triple representation. 0 is not a number, it's any number. And it's saying double the number next to me. If you're doubling one single number, you're getting a double, and you're only one digit away from a triple. And therefore, if the number sticks, it'll triple. It's just another way of thinking about it. Same thing for the 20th. If you get on the 20th, you do have a chance it can more than likely double, but it can easily stick together and give you a triple because of whatever the ratio says or whatever your last 3 draws were. So you want to always monitor that. I appreciate that. Much love, much love, much love. Much love. Anytime y'all do have outside groups, always recommend me. I appreciate that. Again, I can only do but so much, so I need y'all to really get this concept, really understand it. I hate for any other group leaders to try to steer y'all wrong. That's why I say always share this video. That way we'll get the whole world onto easy money. And I'm not saying easy money as it's like a job description. What I'm saying easy money is in you don't have to do much. All you have to do is read. Read and go play your numbers. Read the board of what your numbers fell in your state and go play your numbers. Or better yet, get online, bet any sport, set you up an account, and start getting to this money. It's really simple. Again, I hate the cliche, the easiest money you ever made. I hate the cliche, let's get this money. I hate those cliches. So I always try to say in a different style that's more representation of what we're trying to do. We're trying to build wealth. And we're not trying to sell you a product. I'm really not. This is not for a sale. It's really for me trying to bless you with wealth. I mean, I haven't stopped. The people that made a $270,000 win, they have a start to their wealth. They never hit that much in their life, and I'm sure they haven't. And again, I'm ready to make another $270,000 winner. Again, somebody already hit big off of those quads. They already alert me that they hit good. It may not have been 100,000, it may not be 50K, but still it's good money. A couple thousand is better than no thousand. All for the people that's joining, understand it's a process. The first day is not going to be your big win. Maybe within the first 2-3 weeks you get more understanding of it, and then there's your wins coming right back. Usually within 2 or 3 days, easily you'll see where your state is going. Your primarily focus is not to play those unorthodox numbers, for example, like 038. That's not your primary focus. Your primary focus is playing systems. All we're doing is playing a system. We're not playing the pet number. We're not playing the home address. We're not playing the cell phone number. We're playing systems. That's all they're dropping. 648 is an all even wave. 023 is in triple identifier. 120 is a series. 751 is an all odd wave. All we're doing is playing those systems. We outline every system inside of the book. All you're doing is not so much the grid. I think only thing I need you to really understand from that grid is how everything is fact checked. It's checks off itself. It's certifying itself. And if you line it up in the grid, you'll see why. Usually the 5 grids easily show you how run mates operate, easily show you how triggers operate. Anytime you line up those triples inside your grids, your tic-tac-toe, you're really doing something major. And I really need y'all to know that. Like, if it wasn't for 333 being the DNA of lottery and me putting it inside the grids and see how it operates, half of that knowledge wouldn't be there. I needed those grids from those trips to figure out, okay, it is a algorithm. It is a rhythm. It only does this with this type of number. With this type of triple. It only does that with that type of triple. And all you're doing is back checking and going back saying, okay, yep, that's that. That's there. It did it in that state. It did it in that state. And it did it in that state. So it must continuously going to do it again and again based off of that algorithm that I'm checking off from the grids. So again, all you're doing is playing systems. You really don't need grids to tell you series is overdue. You don't need a grid to tell you base numbers is overdue. You know? So understand who your leaders are. Make sure that they have something to teach you and not just giving you a fish. Really have something to teach you. VA is overdue for trips. I think VA did just get their trips recently. Do let me know. Do let me know when the last triple hit VA. I could have sworn that was like a month ago, if not less. Understand that trips don't come out but every 75 to 90 different draws. 75 to 90 draws. That's when it's about time for your trips to come out. Anything over 90 is overdue. So that means you will be in trip threat. So every system that it is, whether it's base number, series, run mate double, all even, all odd, every system needs to come out at least about 5 times easily. Yeah, about 5 times. 5 times, and I'm trying to say that's 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 will be about 100. Okay. Yeah, so if you divide that by 60 draws, that's about 2 months. So again, every system needs to come out at least 5 times. At least 5 different numbers of that one system. So if it's a series, 5 different series need to come out. If it's a double, run mate double, 5 different run mate doubles needs to come out. If it's a base number, 5 different base numbers needs to come out. And that's every single system. And that's just the beginning of you knowing that it's time for a quad. So after about 5 systems, 5 times each, that's 25 numbers easily. So that's about, easily that'll get you through the month. So within the next month, you're working on your, about halfway through that next month, that's about 75 right there. So a month and a half to 2 months is your triple threat. So if it's been about 2 months, you are in triple threat. Except for they're just not going to give it to you every month. They're going to give it to you about every 90 draws. They're going to give it to you in other languages. Trip triggers and base numbers. It's trip triggers and then base numbers. Trip triggers because of the grids and then base numbers because of the DNA of lottery or the DNA of what a base number is. Understand what I'm just telling you? I'm telling you something major right there. The reason that they can't give you triples every single draw is it'll break the bank. They can't give you a triple every single draw. So they got to give you the representation of a triple every single draw. So the first representation of a triple is a triple trigger. They're one and the same because they come from the same pedigree. I can't really explain that any further. Now, the other one representation of a triple is a base number because it's the DNA of a base number. It's separated by 333. 147 036 269, 581. They're all separated by 333. And that's why I say these are the other representations. And that fills in your whole month. Other than that, it's regular systems. Based series, all even, all odd. That's it. So again, it's not hard at all. Again, make sure everybody hit that share button right now. Tell me what's your weakest point of either the book, or I know everybody's gonna say, well, choosing the right number. And here's the problem: we're not choosing the right number. We're choosing the right system. If you become better at getting what system is due, you'll be becoming better at getting the right number to play. Let's say you get a quick pick. One quick pick says 254. 254. One quick pick says 250. This is how you interpret that. 254 is next to a series, 345, one up, one down. 254 is a replication of a base number, 259. 250 is a replication of a base number, 259, because the zero goes one up, one down. So if you see 250, if you see 254, and whatever the third quick pick might have been, I forgot, they're trying to tell you that not necessarily series is overdue because of these two numbers. These two numbers are more closer to the base number being due than the series. And that's all I'm trying to say. August 20th. Okay. So yeah, you can get another triple in VA, and you should. Here's the best time: the beginning of the month. So try to let this month end without a triple. Let's hope this month ends without a triple in VA, so you can already get the shortcut, knowing that it's going to already be due for beginning of the month. So again, what do VA needs to see? A lot of sevens, a lot of double sevens. A lot of sevens in general, and a lot of double sevens. One, you're going to see a 7 because it's stopping the wave. 2, it depends on how you see it, where the number 7 lands. That's the most important. And are you keeping up with the ratio in book 2 for the book 2 members? So don't just keep up with the 7 and the double 7. Keep up with the ratio and the triggers to go along with the double 7s. So here's your ratio. Ratio says trigger. Here's your 4-draw cluster that failed 2 draws previously from the draw that you're working on. You're working on midday. Look at the last 2 draws. Look at the ratio. If your last 2 draws had any replication of a triple and the ratio says trigger, then you already know the 7s is already done, or the 7s needs to come out, whether it's a double 7 or a single number 7. If the 7s already came out, then more than likely you're going to end up getting that triple, because you got the trigger in the ratio. The last 2 draws was a replication of a triple, and there you go. That's usually how your triple sparks. That's exactly how a lot of these triples did spark. Again, I just can't tell everybody in public every single detail about it. Yeah. We did go over South Carolina real quick. Again, everything is a look at what you got midday to see if it's prepping you for your 0 tonight. I hate to just use South Carolina as an example because it's going to slow it down from hitting. But let's use it as an example. If they got 382 midday, that is a prime example of why they're trying to give you the 0 or the 0-1 evening. We already know today is a date that they love to give out a 0. Furthermore, Illinois helped make it notified that the zeros are en route everywhere. So it's like a beacon. It's like a high alert, red alert. Zeros are en route everywhere because we gave you a quad 0. So again, it was just a red alert. Shows quad 3s, got 3 times in October. 7 trips, double all over again. Okay, here's the thing when focusing on quads. And this is going to be a shortcut. This is going to be a gem. Make sure you write this down. And it's going to make perfect sense. Anytime it does a 333, you know that the system is going haywire. So that can be the best highlighted indicator to give you a quad within the next few draws, because you got triple threes that hit anywhere. As long as trip threes hit, it goes haywire. So we noticed that a couple days ago, trip threes did hit. And California's been going haywire. I forgot who else. We've been getting trips everywhere. Left to right. And again, that's because trip threes. So voila, there's your quad. Right around the corner from the trip threes. So if you want to make note of that, when it goes trip threes anywhere, it's going haywire to get triples everywhere and to get a quad to fall. So always monitor that. But the quad that fell in Illinois was right after 3020, if I'm not mistaken. 3020 or 0320 or 0302 or whatever the case. It might have been 302. What fell right before quad zeros in Illinois? Again, all representations of a quad. If you break down what just fell, it's really only three numbers that are important. For instance, 302. It's a triple identifier indicator. So by it means only 302, it only means triple. You need that to show up minimum to ever get a quad to get started. It needs to triple first. It needs to be a replication of a triple first to ever get the quad even thought of. And that was your perfect one. It could have been any other. It could have been all even wave. It could have been all odd wave. It still would have been indicators to get your quad started, because it would have gave you the triple initiator inside of that number, and it showed out with another triple. It gave you the triple indicator, and it gave you the replication, the next draw of what that triple indicator meant. It meant a triple. It gave you trip zeros. It ended up getting stuck, and it gave you quad. That's all it is to it. Last ratio wasn't enough to give you a quad. The one before that wasn't enough to give you a quad. The next triple indicator wasn't enough to give you a quad. Once it hit that many times, it got stuck enough to give you a quad. And that's what it's really about. But you want to tie it with your ratio. The ratio was a triple trigger. Triple trigger fell trip zeros, and then it got stuck and gave you the quad. So you're only playing 3 digits inside 4 digits. One number is not necessary. One number is just a shadow number. So trip zeros really did fall, and it gave you a quad because it's pick 4 instead of pick 3. So all we're doing is taking pick 3 knowledge, or I want to say logic, pick 3 logic, and using it into pick 4. That's it. Are the quads ready? Where? Oregon, I don't know. 2030, yes, 2030, that would fail. Okay, perfectly. So 2030, one number double. What number double? 0. So if you take that 2030, 2 means double the 0 that's next to it. 0 means double the number that's next to it. That's a number 3. So it still means trip 3s, aka quad 3s. Quad 3s and trip 3s is the haywire number to bring out a quad, no matter which way you cut it. 3 represents the triple. Take any number next to the 3 and triple it. That trip zeros or trip 2s, because one number is not necessary. So if 0 doubled, take out a 0 and you only have 0, 2, 3. Again, if you look at the ratio, if one of those numbers doubled in that ratio, you take out that number that doubled, and then you have your trip trigger. That's it. Now go look at the ratio. You'll see it fell perfectly with quad zeros. GA 302 yesterday evening. Yeah, that's a key indicator. 302 is trip 3s, it's trip zeros, it's trip 2s. It's the same exact thing. And if it does trip 3s, it just goes haywire. Tennessee had 3 quad triggers and the 7 showed up. I'm not sure. Trip 7s or quad 7s. Do let me know. No, the run mates never changed because that's the foundation. So even if you don't have book 2, we're still using the same run mates. The only difference between book 2 is you got trip triggers. But yeah, the roommates don't change. That's the foundation. Make sure y'all hit that share button right now. Make sure y'all hit that share button. We got about 70 people in here. Let's hit that share button. When I get done, I want to see this shared 70 different times. That'll be a favor to me from you. I appreciate it. Let me know what your state got. Illinois did wonderfully. California did wonderfully. Now, California did 4 trips. You usually don't get more than 2. You usually don't get more than 3 back to back. I think it did 4. And again, like I told you before, the only ones that could do it would be California or New York. These are the places that get the most income and see the most sales. The other one would probably be Texas. Texas is known to just keep giving you frequent quads. They'll give you 2 or 3 in less than a month, but there's just more frequently than anywhere else. Again, if California, I don't know what California got midday. Do let me know. If California does not base number, it can end up going again. Now, it shouldn't, but if they do not base number, it can end up going again. Keep up with the ratio. The ratio, if it lands on another trip trigger, then that draw can be another triple. You never want to go too heavy. Always play light. And if you're playing online, I think it only costs $0.25, so you cannot miss, you know. Especially if you're working with trip money or quad money that you already won. You can't go wrong. Yes, North Carolina, South Carolina, they're ready. They're ready. Again, they like to drop it on that red ball drawing. If you're getting the red ball drawing, you're probably going to get it right before or right after a red ball drawing. Usually,